You just fucking rolled on me like BAM! Did it again. And I did hear a spike there. But what's up, fuckers? Yeah, I'm saying fuckers again. I'm not creative at all.
I like to say fuck too. It's fun. Fuck. Fuckity fuck. Fuckity fuck 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 fuck.
Whoa, did you see that shit?
Did it spike?
Oh, hard, dude.
Oh, man.
The entire thing lit up like jadoo.
Oh, we're sorry, folks. If you're getting more glitches, I'm working on this studio on a daily basis. Going to school, doing the fucking parenting thing. I know it sounds like bitch. But nonetheless, I'm trying to resolve some of these issues.
Excuses.
And as my philosophy teacher would say, maybe, perhaps, you do things as you can and accept things as they are.
Well, it's another fucking wonderful night on my Thursday night. It's shitty, wet, nothing to do. Had a chemistry class I could give two shits about tonight. It was riveting. I had to listen to some stuff about DDT, and it's like, I get it. Chemicals, bad. Government, evil. Corporations make money. And then I gotta sit there through the dual argument and be like, oh yeah, like any of you fucking are gonna do anything ever. Because activism totally works in this country. That's what we've seen. Fuck that shit. Egypt doesn't like their government. They storm this central and they're like, get the fuck out or we go ape shit. And like they take our homes and our pensions and everything you hold dear. And we're like, yeah, but the dude on Fox News had a good point. You know he's there to lie to you, right? That Rupert Murdoch is rich as shit and controls a lot of the information you see. He's not the only one, and I'm uneducated, and I don't know who owns like MSNBC and shit, but probably some evil, twisted fucker who's just better at playing the game. But Murdoch is not hurting either. That son of a bitch just puts on the evil fucking Fox News because he knows it's gonna make a shitload of money. Conservative radio and like conservative coverage is so much. It has so much more of a presence than fucking anything liberal, and then anything that's not that conservative shit is liberal shit, and then the people that are like, yo, we're kind of liberal, and it's like, oh my god, now you're even going to acknowledge like this evil mindfuck of an entity has any valid points. They're fucking crazy. But not really. Most of them people are just probably doing coke and reading lines and being like, they're fucking paying me for this. So I can't fault them, because if somebody came to me like, hey, you want to be in charge of like fucking Kansas and just vote like this, and you know you get hookers and blow and free medical coverage for life, and we pay you a ridiculous retirement pension after like fucking like 10 years or some shit. So you know I'd probably be down with it too.
Well, if you don't mind me interjecting, I dare say, you know, I think you'll have that with any kind of a power structure, whether it be political or even like in the entertainment business. Sadly, you'll see that also, that like hierarchy and that clique, and then that thing happen where there's this clique of certain producers and they monopolize on other producers. And I think we would dare say we're against that same sort of antics in that business too. I mean, it goes further than politics for me, folks. It's a state of mind, it's a state of wellness and being, and government is just one example of the fuckery that's about in life. And power begets more power to more power and power, and it's a real appetite for destruction. And I know that sounds so cliche from Guns N' Roses, but whatever. You just gotta fucking have a balance. I mean, consumption is a fucking sickness, folks. I'm sorry, it just is.
No, consumption is just a play on our need. We're addictive to everything. Mm-hmm. Just the experience of life itself, the habits and routines you have, they may not have anything to do with chemical consumption or altering your consciousness. You're addicted to the way you live. Right. So if you're addicted to the way you live, and then you add something as infectious as fucking consumerism, all bets are off. And government is just a perception. Yes. It's not real. And none of it's real.
But there's still real people.
No, there's real guns, and there's real fucked up shit that can happen to you.
If grew up in said type households, they're going to grow up to be said type politicians, which are said type human beings, hell-bent
but that's winning the lottery. Life, that would be amazing.
But they want to keep up with mom and dad's nice life and their boat houses and their trips here. And
it doesn't function that way.
So that's why politics.
That's not what they're saying to each other. Are they pedigreed from birth in those families?
That's what
without a doubt.
Yes.
But is
that's
it
all
like
I'm saying.
the party thinks no? You get like a docket, and they're like, do it and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then all the side scandals you see and shit, they're probably calculated, leaked just at the right times. I'm dead serious. Like, everything you probably see in politics at all has got to be a charade. This far in, with the money system, the way it works, and how you can funnel shit into campaigns and everything. Oh, dude, they removed the realness. Kennedy was probably the last real politician we had. After that, everybody was just like, get the memo. Here's like the Bill Hicks joke. And here's a shot of the Kennedy assassination from an angle you've never seen. Any questions?
Any questions? This is what's up. This is how things are going to operate. Yeah, and really, like, if you haven't picked up a history fucking book, and I don't even care if it's written by American historians, you're going to see the fact of the matter is, we've been duped in the past. It's been proven. It's been shown. We've been duped numerous times for numerous causes under numerous guises.
Bush committed
We've been
treason in 2000,
doing
and nobody said
false
a word.
Pretenses, folks, and that's fucking unacceptable for us to be led by what we consider our guiding father.
I'm supposed to take this seriously.
It's a charade.
When
and back to Fox News, that's just a fucking distraction. I'm sorry. I don't mean to belittle it.
That's what I've already said. It's a distraction.
Right. Okay. Well, then I just want to reiterate.
I'm saying
is completely.
But like, I'm not going to take this shit seriously because I watched Bush in 2000 commit treason during the election, become president. Nobody had that conversation.
Yeah.
So you really think I'm unpatriotic? The fact that nobody fucking noticed that, or if you only know about that because you watched some shitty fucking movie version of it. I know I'm a Kevin Spacey fan, and that movie was made, but I'm going to tell you right now, that's not what went down. Mm-hmm. There's no way that would never get approved through the entertainment system to be produced as like a big fucking movie with it being the real story, just like the shit Zero Dark 30 or whatever with Osama bin Laden. I'm not saying they didn't kill the dude, but you're never gonna know what actually happened ever. Why? Because it's just not.
You're not privy to that information because you are a piece of cattle with a number on it.
Who's to say anybody in our government's even privy to it? Who's really calling the shots?
Who's privy to actual,
real fucking raw
and it's a legitimate question. It's an American question, and you don't hear me get very patriotic too often. Yeah. But I will say that's a legitimate American question to ask. There's something fucked up here, and I want to fucking know what's up for real. Mm-hmm. And then you get the people who are like, "Oh, it's another crazy talking crazy talk." Excuse me for a second.
No, what he's elaborating on is people is when you really start to ask legitimate questions, people shit on you, and that natural urge to shit on that person that brings up a legitimate point where you're all the crowd goes, yeah, that's because you're sheeple, you've been hoodwinked, and there's you can just admit it. There's no shame in admitting it because even the person that asked that question that made the crowd go and they're not a sheeple was originally a sheeple. It's a common thing we all share. Either you snap the fuck out of it or you're a moron for the rest of your life because you believe ignorance is bliss, but in the end it bites you in the ass anyway. So you might as well step outside the system and float around and do whatever the fuck you want.
I agree completely. I hate to interrupt for just a second. I just have to hit Control S because if we lose any of that rant, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. Because that was really good. And I want to make sure that this machine doesn't ever leave us hanging. So that's saved. Thank you for that moment.
Well, this has not been exactly the most professional production so far, so I think our standards we set the bar low for ourselves because it's easier just to work your way out, people.
And is it really like the audience we're looking to hang with and party with and be around? Are we looking for anybody who's different than us?
But I should have started the podcast.
I think we really are looking to hang with motherfuckers like ourselves. Thank you guys. Maybe it's 5, maybe it's 1 dude. Hey dude, hey gal, hey young lady or whoever. Thanks for checking us out because you know what? We're motivated not by what you may presume, perhaps, but more or less a connection that we believe is happening upon us right now. My friend Cody here just said earlier this evening, welcome to the golden era, and he had a glimmer in his fucking eye, and I swear to God, I felt the magic of a time change on our planet, an awakening, and I'm not talking hippy dippy do shit. I'm talking about our consciousness, our connectivity through the internet, through things like this podcast. We now have a chance to come together as a collective mind and say enough is enough. We're not a fucking herd of sheep. We're not gonna have arbitrary lines drawn on maps.
Well, we tried to herd people into something that resembles a herd of sheep.
So I'll end my rant and give the show back to the host in charge by just saying that whoever's listening to this, we appreciate it. You know why?
By the way,
we fucking want more like you.
By the way, shout out to Homebar Productions. Them guys doing those podcasts
no
down
doubt.
there in New Jersey and shit. Thank you guys
awesome
for
talk.
fucking...
Thank you.
Yeah,
awesome talk.
Yeah, awesome talk. But it's Homebar Productions. I believe does all their stuff.
Thank you very much.
So, you know, check out that shit, people. They're pretty cool guys and
good
shit.
Dudes, good lady, good people, good family. Yup, good new family. Definitely.
Yep. But because of the internet and the honesty you can do now, it's really... There's levels of fake talk. And in society, you go through the different ones. From the casual, pleasant, hey, how you doing, how's the day? And you're kind of just an acquaintance with that person. There's no real personal attachment to the person you're with personally. Not personally, that's a horrible way to use an adjective. It's the same fucking word. But whoever you're in your serious relationship, whatever, that sees the real you break down and shit, to the person that sees you publicly at work, it's varying degrees. So publicly, when you talk about serious issues, there tends to be a lot of fuckery. So now with the internet and some crazy fucker like me who just doesn't give a shit anymore can get on here and go, dude, you're all full of shit. It doesn't matter. Relax and have a good fucking time. Now, I'm not saying we can't go out there and fix shit, but until like enough of a group really gets their shit together, you might as well sit back and like laugh at it a little bit. I mean, look at it like you're on some fucking inside joke, but just don't become some like condescending hipster style version of it. Like, I hate the facade now where it's like everything's too stupid to do. That's bullshit too. Don't get me wrong, shit's stupid, but still do stuff because things are fun and you can. So do your own thing. Like, find a way to just fucking do something you find exciting. If it's just like scamming a corporation to climb the ladder, to be like, you know what, you know how much money I make now and what I actually did to get here and how funny it is that I was aware of all the little idiosyncrasies and flaws people had in this place, and I was just like, made you all my bitch. Do it. Why not? Why not do it? And then when you get to the position of power, rule righteously, be the Marcus Aurelius of this generation with your corporation. Fucking operate with like understanding, and you'll never lose what you've accomplished because you know how to handle it. See, people get too obsessed with the rise. They get stuck on the plateau when they get there. What's on top of the world when you get there? Well, everything's beneath you, so start playing God, whatever, dude. Just... It's a hard concept to wrap your head around because you're not conditioned to be that way. You're conditioned to look around your area, buy a house, establish yourself, get financial security, raise a family, have friends and family, and do certain events that are pre-approved by society standards and reiterated in the fucking sitcom TV shows you watch. Everybody loves Raymond, right? So fucking do it. Now, there's nothing to say that I don't get a little nostalgic with a lot of that stuff because my parents took part in some of it, and some of it is cool because it encourages cool people to get together. But now it can be done for the wrong reasons, become fake, hollow, and not enough anymore. That's when you run into a problem in life, aka a midlife crisis. So you really want to know what all these mental deficiency problems are in this fucking country. It's a systemic root cause that, like, for all of it. It's all side effects shit. Just like certain drugs have extreme side effects on you based on your genealogy and who you are and yada yada yada. Same thing about the experience of society in this life that you're born into. It's going to have said side effects depending on your genealogy, who you are, your environment, and all that. And it's not that hard to look at it like that because you don't even have to understand those processes. You don't have to be a fucking psychologist to know that this is the way it works. I mean, you can figure it out in your own rudimentary way, but you do what you do.
Yeah, man. Hey, that was a lot to take in. A lot. And a lot to mull over.
That's called caffeine.
It's good stuff, man. It's good thought, provoking.
I named that piece Preachy on a soapbox.
That's a good title. I can go for that. Then again, I think everything's a song title, don't I?
Well, everything is. Nothing's really poetry. People just don't know that.
Nothing is everything's a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Exactly. Nothing's authentic or original anymore. Unless you become some weird hybrid of everything that already exists. That's the only way to become something new. Take what already exists and then use it. And don't adhere to it.
Yeah, but in some multiverse somewhere else, it's already been done in some time, place, continuum. Sorry.
Exactly. But I believe it. Like, what's to say if you don't pull it off if in your lifetime? Now that means you're just switching frequencies into that other multiverse and living the rest of that one out through that consciousness.
Nice. Good volley.
Completely theoretical and made up, and it's probably because I do too many psychedelics from time to time. But I know for a fact that reality is slippery as shit. Not really what you see in front of you.
Well,
and you know, appreciate that you can just experience it at all, because when done right, it's fun as hell. But when surrounded around the wrong people or doing the wrong shit, it's hell. That is what hell is. Hell is just a perspective of the current moment, where you cannot imagine yourself in any other moment but the current moment, and the current moment sucks. Just like consistent happiness is the same formula, but you're in the right environment, in the right attitude, and you can't imagine anything bad happening because it's such a vibrant thing. So heaven, hell, get it? Perspective.
Yeah.
You only know the moment because it's the only thing you're ever really living. You're only ever touching and feeling and experiencing in the moment.
Well, maybe I'm making a leap when I go this far with it, but like, again, for those who haven't heard me mention this before, like, that's initially what steered me more towards philosophy in my education, and, you know, less towards psychology, because the more I took psychology classes at Corning, the more I felt like their definition of insanity was pretty close to like my everyday thinking and what I would like to think people think like and how they think, and I would hope they think outside the box. I would encourage people to think outside the box. And here I'm in an institution of academia teaching basically the opposite, that when you think outside the box, or you're anywhere realm or reaching towards a farther thought than what's right in front of your nose, you're borderline BSU in it, according to them. And I got really uncomfortable with some of those ideas. So as I started to take, as we've mentioned before, Dr. Vince Lucilla's classes, you know, the more I started to take philosophy classes, I realized, you know, this is for me where it's at, because now we can talk about things outside the box, in that slippery zone you said of reality, where we can you know, I mean, I'm not saying we can't apply psychology, and I don't want to take away from the field, because I am going to continue on that quest as well, down that path with
I'll do you one further.
Philosophy. But I just want to say for the record, I think it's a slippery slope that we have something like a psychological academic program, that's basically just like a lot of things like sociology and other stuff that's pigeonholing and
no, it's necessary, but it's placed in the wrong context.
An unfortunate picture for people.
Yeah, because it lacks the wrong narrative.
Right, and they're missing.
The difference between philosophy and psychology is this:
coming out of high school and they're getting brain fucked. I'm sorry to keep going.
The difference between philosophy and psychology is this: psychology is like being the mechanic, whereas philosophy is like being the car designer. Mm-hmm. You're creating. Whereas you're just understanding how something functions with psychology. And that's the problem, because these are the people that determine your sanity. Who's to put a limit on sanity? Now, there are obvious cases where people have lost touch with the present moment completely and they need help. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, where someone could have you committed because of the thoughts you have, and they could be very justified based on your fucking story.
Yes.
They could be very justified because nobody knows what it's like to be you. It is a condemning, it's the most apathetic way to deal with how people are in pain and sick.
Yes.
And you wonder why we're twisted and deprived and sad.
And all on various pharmaceuticals or other stuff, because you know why? Our self-expression, our ability to just be who we are as individual beings on this planet and enjoy, have been squashed down to, as you said in your column coming up here on the Town Crier, a 9-to-5 bullshit job. And as you said on your last podcast, sorry to keep re-quoting, but that's cool. If you gotta have a 9-to-5 to get from A to B, that's cool. But yo, man, fucking have a C and a D and an E and an F and a different dot on your path. Don't settle for fucking B, point B, you know. If 9 to 5 is point B, then what's fucking after that? Because if it's nowhere, then you just, that's settling, man, in my opinion.
You don't like the road you're on, take a turn. Find an exit.
That's the same goes, and listen, I want to be clear, because the same goes.
Drive through a fucking cornfield.
If you work at a 9 to 5 and you're a happy person and you go into work happy and it's legitimate and you feel happiness in your heart, say hi Bob, hi Gene, how you doing? And sitting around the coffee maker or whatever, and you love that, and that's you, fucking go you, man. That's what I'm getting at.
You know what though?
I'm not gonna
Brad's
try and
being
tell.
nice by saying that.
I'm not
really.
Well,
your happiness is a hollow lie. I'm the cynical asshole in this. I'll play good
cop,
bad cop with you. Listen, it's fine if it works enough and it keeps you functional and you are now responsible for children. Keep it together and handle your children, because you no longer are allowed to fret and worry about your own mental existence like that, because you're now responsible for another life, because you were the motherfucker that was too drunk or just too lazy to put a condom on. You fucked a girl, you cranked out a human being who's now in its formative stages. Good luck. And confidence booster. Sorry, I get cynical because I can sit back and go, I ain't got no fucking kids. I didn't do that dumb shit. I didn't get out of fucking high school and take a good paying job and buy a fucking house. I didn't marry some chick at 23 like a moron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I look
I'm
at
not gonna be
so many fucking people I knew growing up, and I'm like, oh God.
Man, the joys of parenthood and blah blah blah, and you have no idea, because you know what?
Yeah.
I could sincerely sit here and I could go on and on about how much I love being a father, but you know what? I was you once, and I had old fucks like me do that to me, and I didn't want to hear it then.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you want to hear it now? So I spare you that shit. I love my kid. You know it. I know it. Move on.
Proof in the pudding, though, because of what I just said. If I ever do have a child,
you don't have one to take care of, so you're in a different position. But that's awesome.
Because of what I just said, that proves that if I do have one, I'll fucking take care of it the right way.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I will focus on it and give it the energy it needs.
Right. Simple.
But
exactly.
I'm not looking to do that.
Because you're not being nonchalant with your semen. Sorry to fucking talk that way, but goddamn, that's what it really comes down to, fellas. Don't be nonchalant with your fucking cum, alright? Do something proper with it.
Yeah.
Make sure it goes in a dispensary, because you know what? Them little shits make little shits into big shits.
Totally.
You gotta take care of them shits. And this is coming from a loving father, 9 to 5 dad all the time. I love it, but it's not easy, fellas.
Without a doubt, though.
You don't want it? It's your responsibility.
The minute I get a chunk of money, if I don't have a child before I get a chunk of money and establish myself in life, I ain't getting the snip. Because I'm smart.
You're not the first I've heard. There's a lot of younger people saying that these days, and I don't argue with that. If you're a young man and you know what you want, you fucking...
You can make the argument that I should probably procreate to put another smart person in the world, but that's
the computer's running to hibernation, folks.
Yeah, all I gotta do is touch the mouse.
I'm gonna do that. I just sorry to interrupt. I didn't want to.
But you know, I procreate, put another smart person in the world, like Idiocracy style. I could do that, but I'm a selfish prick. And you know what? I got dealt like a really fucking weird hand in the beginning. So the second half of my life has got to be awesome. Otherwise, I'm gonna die a miserable prick. So I don't want to be the angry dude in my underwear at like 55, screaming at people on his front porch, hammered on fucking Jameson.
I do.
Just fucking.
I do, because by then your tickets are gonna be like $20 from like $5. And I'm going to be too poor to afford
I ruined this country. It was great. And I'd be like so hammered that I can't even remember that politics is a lie. Like I'm just fucking mad at everything.
So you said 50 something, right? 56, something like that?
55.
Yeah, so whatever. I'd be like, I'd be old as dirt, but I'd be up front still.
I want to be in my 50s with like an awesome chick with me.
Real fucking beep.
Yeah, that's not. I'll be like on a shrimp trip when I'm like 55, looking out at the desert. That's my goal, to have a cool life and not be putting on some facade like I'm the cool guy. No, I just want to do those things because they're fun. And if I want to do those things and you want to fucking place some other context on it, you're just being a fucking dick. I'm not fucking with you. I just want to do what I want to do. And if you want to go do what you want to do, you do what you want to do. But if you're cool and you want to come do what I'm doing, then come fucking do it. Mm-hmm. And it was the most like like blue collar way to explain that shit, but Jesus Christ, people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember growing up when I reached that line, and you would drink at parties and have a good time, play beer pong, do whatever you wanted to do, and of course people always smoke pots everywhere when you're growing up. Eminem, we was where the fuck were you brought up, but the minute I start experimenting with other shit, it was just like, oh, you do drugs? It's like, well, yeah, because I'm not a pussy. And they're fucking awesome if you haven't tried them, by the way. And I never got hooked on one because I was like, well, what does this do? Well, what does this do? Well, what does this do? And the ones that seem to obviously just fucking kill you, I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't do that. Probably shouldn't shove a needle full of heroin into my arm. Why? Because you fucking die like Mitch Hedberg style or some shit. You know, I'm good.
Yeah.
So, but if I can do a line of Molly and eat some shrooms and candy flip and just bring in the new year, so to speak, rejuvenate the system, have a good conversation, maybe have a great experience with a new girl, whatever. Maybe I'm ballsy for talking like that. Maybe I'm a degenerate. Can't say it. Should probably abandon that.
No,
Degenerate. I got it. Degenerate scumbag. I don't care, dude. I just don't care anymore. It's not fair. Why does life have to be so bland, like a bran fucking muffin? That's what you get. And you don't get no milk. You get water. Nasty warm tap water. That's what you get. Bran muffins and warm tap water. That's life in America if you're middle class and you do the right thing.
Yeah. No, dude, that's why I applaud you for this shit, bro. I mean, I am dead ass serious when I say, when you speak about because we have a little bit of a generational gap.
Yeah.
When I had my introduction to drugs and alcohol in the party world and the free world, if you will, at, I don't know, age 14, 15, started really fucking around, having a good fucking time with my friends outside of school and shit. Your definition, your just recent explanation there is pretty much the same as mine. I wasn't a fucking retard. I tried shit. I tried it at a reasonable amount, tested shit, said, yup, I like the way that feels. I did some shit that I said, I don't like the way that feels, and I didn't do that again. And then I had certain ones that I won't fuck with that because I'm not a dumbass and I can see that destroys people's fucking lives. So, with that being said, what you just said, I grew up pretty much in the same boat, and I fucked around and I dicked off and I had my fun and I had a fucking great time, and I went on tour with the rock and roll band and saw the country and met famous fucking rich motherfucking people that had a great time too, and it was good. Mm-hmm. And now here I sit doing a fucking podcast with, like, almost looking in a reflection of something in progress now, and I fucking salute you, Captain. Like, fuck yes, go for the gold, because that was my mentality then, and it got me a long way, and that's why I can sit here with my lovely life, being a dad, a husband, and a happy person, because I didn't fucking let anything get in my fucking way, bro, and I see that in you, and that's fucking rad. And with that,
listen, I feel like I'm out of juice. I'm out of steam. I was on a roll there. Should have closed the cooler. No, but no. Listen, people like, other people aren't gonna know what you want unless you say it, and you're not gonna do the things you want unless you're able to say them out loud and say them with confidence. Like, to get this podcast going, I'm going for an open mic very soon. I'm not even making it up. That's fucking happening. I don't even give a shit if I eat dick, dude. It's still gonna be fun. I'm gonna have fun doing it. That's the difference between what I do and what other people do, is I have fun. If I'm having fun, I don't care if I suck. Just like if I play golf and I suck, I laugh at myself. Why? I'm not taking it seriously. And you know what? I might get up on the next fucking tee and crank off a great shot just because I'm relaxed. So if I get up there and I fail a few times, I might strike gold with something and then find what I'm good at. That's fine with me. But the difference with this was I started telling people, hey, I'm going to do a podcast. I want to do stand-up comedy. I started saying it out loud to people that I know. And instead of being the guy that talks about it for 20 fucking years, I'm doing it pretty quickly. And I always kept telling you, I'm like, it's not that I'm delaying. It's not that I'm like, I really am like facing legitimate fucking obstacles that are stopping me that I need to get through. And then the minute I'm through them, I'm on this shit. And I'm true to my word, the minute I got past it, boom, on it. Yeah. You're like, we can do it. And I'm like, well then fucking hook it up. Let's do it. Yeah. Even when you recorded and I wasn't ready, I was like, fucking roll it. You know what I mean? Like, So what? So fucking what?
Yes.
I wanted to be contrived to create an atmosphere. It'll come in time. I wanted to do certain things with a certain style to present myself a certain way. It's not true. This is who I am, really, like right now in this moment. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. This is where I'm at in life. I need a haircut. My beard's too long. I go to college. I don't give a fuck. I'll find money the way I ever gotta find money. People want to get mad at me. Nothing's new. You want to fucking bitch about something I do? Get in line, because I feel like that's everybody that I ever meet is always like, I got a problem with you. And all I'm ever trying to do is be like, hey, let me help you out with this. Hey, let's handle this. Hey, let's contribute and have a good fucking time. Let's just, you know what I mean?
Whatever happened to fun, Cody?
Yeah. What happened to fun, people? You know, that word used to be around all the time. And if my buddy Mark is listening to this, he knows exactly what I'm talking about, because I started saying this shit when I was drinking beer with him. I was like, you know what? What the fuck happened to having fun? You used to say that word a lot. Do you notice that it's in no one's vocabulary anymore? As you get older, it may just be where I live. But I tell you right now, nobody goes, hey, what are you doing Friday? I don't know. I just want to do something fun. They go, I don't know. I got this going on. I might go out. I don't know if I want to be hungover Saturday. Wow, people, just, you're fucking dead inside. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. Sometimes you get a shit hand, man. It's just the way it rolls. But you know what? Have fun with it anyway. If what you're facing is going to be horrible, grab a 12-pack or grab a fat bag. Whatever gets you through, and you get through. You don't worry about it. You stay smart, and you stay away from the police, and you stay away from trouble, and you stay away from like the wrong crowds. Because it's possible to live that lifestyle with doing that. It's called being responsible and being smart. It's not like you have to be a criminal to enjoy certain things in life. You can just enjoy them. It's fine. You can still get up and go to work. You can still get up and go to your class and ace your fucking test. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. It's called getting your shit together. And you don't have to abstain completely. That's where people think that's where everybody goes wrong. You can't be responsible unless you are fucking acing the whole sober or whatever the fuck it is. That's horseshit too. But it is moderation in what you can and can't do. Know the limits of your body. Be in touch with yourself. If you don't know these things right now, you got a lot of work to do on yourself. You need to figure some shit out. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to know how to live life until you know how your body reacts to situations and the demands of your life. So you have to know what makes you feel like shit. You have to know what pushes you too far. You have to know how much you can get away with and be like, all right, I almost redlined there, but I'm still okay.
And then you're just a little bit closer to not giving a fuck what other people think of you. That's the next one, and that's even better. Because when you've achieved that, you're well on your way to being able to almost
you have now subconsciously made the choice
to being pretty much what you'd like it to be. And that's really coming close to almost saying you're enlightened, which is really far away from being enlightened.
No, you're not enlightened. What you are now doing is looking at everything
but
through a
step,
filter
like
that is different. It's a filter of functionality. You are trying to function properly so your life doesn't fucking suck. That is all it is. That's all it's ever been. It's not Zen. It's not Buddhism. It's not some fancy fucking enlightenment term. It's not some fucking douchey thing that gives it some discredit with a loaded term. None of that shit matters. God, words like that, enlightenment, whatever, spirituality, loaded terms. Get away from them. They will hold you back. You will get stuck in ego traps. You will get condescending and think your way is the way. There is no one way. There is only forward. That is it. You got to do the best with the influences you have. The minute you step outside the dynamic of who you are not going to succeed. That is selling out. That is doing something and contradicting who you are as an individual. That's when being an individual matters. But you have to understand that being an individual means that you also participate in the singular organism that has to think as a whole too. So there is a dual responsibility, but it's not that hard because the baseline decisions we need to make as a mass are not that difficult. Don't fuck the earth up. Be cool to each other. Make sure people have what they need and make sure people don't die. Oh my God, how hard was that? That's really all you really need to worry about. Then deal with your individual life. Then deal with your social climate, your environment, your work schedule, whatever the fuck your creative project is, or whatever you're doing. Then work on that. And I went long on that one.
It was a good one, man. Fucking indeed. Everything's a process, but that's what you pointed out is true. These loaded terms, we talk about them. It's that in itself is a slippery slope because we like to debate. You like to.
You may mean one thing when you say a word,
We
but
like
somebody
to
else
talk.
will take it a different
Right.
way just because that word, because language is subjective.
So language
You've
is a
said that
barrier.
before yourself.
Yes.
Language is fucking just a tool, man, and we use it to manipulate.
Exactly.
And there's no way to know if you're telling the truth or if I'm telling the truth, except for trust and faith.
That's right, and those are two very hard things for people to get their heads around, philosophically speaking. You
Yeah.
know,
Because those are loaded terms too, trust and faith.
Yes, they are. It's big. It's a rat race, folks.
It's like probation. You're meant to fail and go back to jail. Do you know what I'm
We
saying?
just got spiked. Sorry, but
Yeah, we've been getting them, but they're not
Okay,
terrible.
alright,
Trust me, I'm just
cool.
rolling with it.
all right, cool. But you know, this is at the epicenter of all of this stuff, and I think this is what reduces. At least I'm just gonna speak for myself. Down to that singularity that I hear you talk about, at least, and I feel it, of the oneness of now. Because you start to reach and reach and reach and reach and reach out, and you're reaching backwards and you're reaching forward, you're reaching sideways. But you get to this point where if you get enough almost gathered, it acts like a black hole and starts to gather up this gravity, and it eventually spins down into this like center. And maybe it does again sound like a loaded term or hippy dippy bullshit, but finding your center, and it's like taking all those pieces of fractal information from your now and putting it into
It's merging the
one
mental with the
spot
physical.
of
It's
peace. I'm talking about inner peace, which again is such a fucked up
no. It's
thing.
in the first step to
People
that
think
is learning how to
yoga,
plugging
fucking
in. The
da.
plugging into. That's why you always
I'm
see
not
meditation
going
and
there,
shit
dude.
where they focus on breathing because it's a good way to plug into the moment.
It is.
And what it is
That's
is
true.
you exist in two worlds at all times. You exist in your mental perception, and you exist in a physical world that has consequences based on your interaction with it. You can get killed doing certain things. You can get high doing other things.
Facts.
You can have fun doing some shit. You can be put through personal hell doing other things. So to be in the moment means you strip away the narrative real quick. You plug in. You really look at the room. You really breathe. You really feel what you feel at the moment. You feel the aches and pains of your body. You let go of the story context that you've constructed for the day so far. It's the reason why when you go to sleep and wake up in the morning, that extreme emotional feeling you had before when you went to sleep, and then you wake up and you're like, God, I'm glad I didn't make that phone call. I was not in the right frame of mind to do that.
Yeah.
You realize how temporary the urges are. And that's what it means to be aware of the present moment. If you are aware, those feelings are not going to go away. That's the point. We're saying we get it. We're on your team. We go through it too. You just know how to deal with it in that day. That day served up you a plate of this emotional fucking cocktail that's going to have its ups and downs. And then you try to get the minimal statistic to the point where it's mostly good shit. And you're always going to have some sort of conflict or fucking clash because it's the way the world is designed currently, and until we evolve it to the point where that no longer exists, it will be an issue. So again, progress moving forward, not overnight, unless everybody in the world, which would never happen, were to have this epiphany at the same moment. Would that go away instantly? But it's not going to happen that way. And if it's not going to happen that way, it doesn't discredit the fucking style of thinking either. It's not utopia, asshole. It's just a way to do shit. So you start doing it that way, then more people do it. Teach your kids to do it, then they do it. Then it spreads like a fucking virus. Why? Because it's actually effective. It actually works. And then you're successful, self-sufficient, and intelligent. Instead of being like scared, broke, and don't know what the fuck to do. God damn, that sounds so much. Oh, I want to do that instead of doing what I'm doing. I mean, I really don't know what I'm doing, people. Don't get me wrong, but at least I know what I'm doing as far as this bullshit society's rules are concerned.
Well, for myself, I think the reason I contextualize things the way I do when it comes to, I don't know, thinking, the thinking man, whatever, the thought, the reality, the everything. I think I don't know. I come back to this feeling where, for me personally, and again, Cody's I think makes a great point. Everybody's at their own fucking path. I can't say to anybody, nobody I believe could say to anybody else, this is the way. It's just your way and his way or her way. So with that being said, I think the way I contextualize things for myself is because I took a lot of like depression that I had pushed way, way, way down.
Backfires like a motherfucker, doesn't it?
And I got away with it for like, we're talking like 20, 30 fucking years almost, you know, like with a few meltdowns like any kid would have along the way, you know, any young woman or man growing up. Man. But I'm telling you, at one point though, it bubbled over to this like fucking, and then shot me out the other side into pure apathy.
Like a monkey into space.
Like into apathy though, and I'm talking into apathy at a time when I was taking philosophy of life and things like, you know, sociology and psychology. So here I am, this apathetic fuck, going around going hum-dum already, what the fuck is all this for, why are we even fucking bothering? And then I'm taking classes that are challenging these questions, and that's when I completely became engaged in the academic college life, and I was like, wow, this is where I have to be right now. Yes, I love being in a rock and roll band. Yes, I love doing art. Yes, I love fucking, you know, all the other wonderful things, my wife, my child, my family, my friends. But for me, academics now is not about that piece of paper at the fucking end of the day or any of that bullshit. It's the fact that it's a place I can go where I don't feel alone looking for answers to bigger fucking questions than, how am I gonna get gas to get to work so I can get more money to get more gas to get to work so I can get food so I can get more food so I can get more money for more gas. So then I can save up possibly to get that TV there I saw in the commercial from Walmart. They got that one for $99. And then after that, maybe I'll be able to save enough money after working my ass off for a few more, not months, but years. Maybe I can have that truck I finally wanted on a Chevy commercial every goddamn day. But maybe by the time I'm 60, I'm too fucking old. I can't even fucking move. I can't get up.
I'm a Ford. I want a Ford truck.
I done smoked myself to death because all I could do was afford cigarettes and alcohol because I lived in a goddamn
the shittiest drugs you can do are the only ones that are legal.
And that, my folks, is my worst nightmare of growing old. That will not be me. I will not be the 60-year-old sitting idly by, dying, going, well, at least I got my 9 to 5. Still got my 9 to 5. Sorry for those. I don't mean any fucking disrespect to anybody who's moving into a too
small of an apartment and watch Judge Judy till I die.
Yep. When I get home from work, I know exactly what I'm doing tonight. Every Wednesday. Same thing I do every Wednesday.
I gave up on living fucking 15 years ago.
That day I nearly done put that shotgun in my mouth is when I was saved. By being saved, I mean I got a job the next day.
And he's like, you're not gay, you're just confused. You need the Lord in your life. And then, you know, I started going to church and everybody there seemed like they believed in it. So, you know, it must be real. So, you know, I give them money every week and I help out at the functions and I don't drink no more. And
yeah, and you know what? When I'm cold, I put a blanket on, folks. It's the same fucking premise. You cold, church ain't gonna warm you up for good, man. I'm sorry. It's just a fucking blanket. Ha ha ha. Sorry. Little reality check on my behalf. Oh, and for those atheists out there, you're starting to piss me off too. Just as bad.
You're annoying, rude.
I gotta say, you know what, you're fucking cunts. And you know, all this.
Quit being twats.
Quit fucking, you know, if you're against theology being
don't
shoved
be a
down
fucking
your throat,
asshole. You're not winning us any fucking new recruits that way.
Guess what? I hate shit shoved down my throat, and that's probably why I am not a big fan of most religious bullshit. So stop being like religious bullshit with your atheist bullshit.
Yeah.
You've now acquired yourself something. You're an atheist. Woo! You're part of a club too, buddy. Guess what?
No,
Just like a fucking Christian.
You're playing
you're
your game.
Atheist.
You want representation as a minority and you want religion status, but you're anti-religion. You're a fucking hypocrite for doing it.
You're a fucking coward.
If you at least acknowledge that publicly and we're honest about it, I'd probably have more respect for you. Because I'd be like, yeah, you got to play the system, do what you got to do. But no, you're completely engaged. You're still missing the point yourselves. Okay, good for you. You've half unplugged. You now realize that religion is bullshit. But does that mean that the existence of God is really final? You have no fucking clue, nor does anyone.
Have you done DMT?
It does not matter. It does not fucking matter.
Have you even never smoked a joint and you're still some atheist that's like, there's nothing, it's a cold scientific world. We live as robots. This is it. Biology is all. Science is all. Guess what? Try a hallucinogenic drug. Come back to me, kiddo. I'm not saying you'll see Jesus Christ or Buddha or fucking any of these other
But you'll
idols.
feel connected.
But guess what? You'll feel a little more connected to something a little bit bigger than your little fucking monkey ass. Sorry, atheist monkey.
Dance, monkey, dance.
God damn, it hates monkeys. Oh, dance.
Did you say AIDS monkeys or atheist monkeys?
I said atheist AIDS monkeys. Dancing atheist AIDS monkeys. Now that is a song title.
Yeah, man,
right there.
you're just doing a
Right,
disservice
Batman?
to a different style of thinking. It's almost like you're
I'll
there
make
as
it atheist hate mail
disinformation.
now.
You're like disinfo in a way. Even though you're telling the truth, you're still
Bring
being
it.
dishonest. Because you're still being dishonest by saying that you can just, without a fact, know that there is nothing. You fucking are retarded if you claim that with what science is available. You're supposed to be scientific, jackass. You know what I mean? Like, quantum physics proves some weird fucking shit lately. Not like proving it, but it's like suggesting some really weird shit.
Yeah.
Like maybe no death, maybe a collective conscious. And like maybe Carl Jung nailed it and Freud was just on coke and being a dick.
Maybe when you do get up and go to the bathroom, you have a completely different reality than what I imagine in my mind, because I can't actually see you.
Yeah.
Your atoms take totally different form. Who
My
fucking knows?
senses of how I feel and
I can
touch and
only
interact
see
with
and
this world
hear
could be
what's right in
completely
front of
fucking
me.
different
Exactly.
than you.
Yeah. Yep. We're there on that one.
Yep.
What's red is not your red. What's green is not mine. And
well, we don't even necessarily know. It could be.
Glad we
could
learned
be the
that
same
at a
color,
young
but we
enough
don't
age.
know. You know what I mean? It could be the same color, but we don't know.
By the way, teach your kids that young. Try to teach them the concept that when they see red, they may not see the same thing you call red. If you can get your head around that yourself as an adult, I'm sorry if you can't, because
You went to public school.
you got some homework to do. But if you can get your head around the fact that your red may look different completely to what you call red, you know what I'm saying.
You
to your
never know
child.
what it's like to look through somebody
Explain
else's
it
eyes.
to your child early, because
just
I
don't.
did. My kid got it. He was young. He was only like 6 when I told my son about that. He gets it. He has it now, and he understands perception. And if you can teach your children about perception at a young age, please do. It will go a long way in the rest of their learning experience. And that is my, I'm going to have to end my qualm on that because it's about 1 a.m. and I've got to get up for school at 6:30. I hate to cut this podcast short. I could pass the mic to Cody and let him run, but...
Dude, you're still in the middle of that shit. Just relax for a few minutes.
I'm relaxing, but...
I know, but
I'm
you
just
didn't
saying.
say it alone. I wasn't like clocking it, you know?
Yeah, I didn't mean to
No, it's
overhost you or anything.
No, it's you kind of, you know what I mean? Completely threw that fucker off track. You might want to click on the mouse, by the way. So I'm back. Brad had to bail because, like he said, he's got a class at like 8 in the morning, philosophy with Dr. V. So I don't blame him. I do not have any fucking classes tomorrow though, so fuck it. I'm gonna keep rolling. I feel like we were on a roll there for a while, so you know, figured I'd come back, just talk to the mic by myself again, and see if people get tired of me. But this doing this, I've been looking forward to doing every one so far. So much fun, but got a lot on my mind lately. Just perception of everything in this area. Just, I don't know if I want to trust my thinking, but at the same time it could be completely flawed because I live in this area. It could just be a major result of atmosphere and environment and shit like that. And I hope if I pursue something because of a strength I think I have, if I go to another area, I no longer have that strength because I don't have the fuel for it. But that's such a stupid thing to worry about. If you're miserable somewhere, get the fuck out. Just go. Just get away from it. I mean, if you have responsibilities like children and shit tied to a situation, do not just bail on your kids. Do not take that the wrong way. But I'm talking about if you're a young adult and you're stuck in a bad situation and you can just get a fresh start somewhere, go do it. And I don't think that's emphasized enough. This sets up a fresh start. When you place yourself in a different place and you are the person you choose to present, nobody knows you besides what you're giving them right then. There's no backstory, no context. You're not who your friend circle from back home thinks you are. You're not that person. You can try out different things, and it may sound egotistical, and it kind of is, but it doesn't matter if you're doing it to just be a cool person to get by and have fun. That way, you want to get like good fucking people into your life so you can enjoy yourself and have people around to enjoy it with. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And there's a reason you don't intermix certain friends as you progress in life. If you notice that common trend, it's because you know the friction that's going to be there. Because they exist in two different fucking worlds. Because of your history and past and narrative, you're subject to fucking dealing with it over and over again. And I really wish this fucking shit would stop glitching on me so hard. But you know what? You can't always get what you want. But at least I have the ability to sit here and record my crazy fucking random thoughts as they come spewing out, no filter. And I can do it for free. All because of technology. Now, just imagine if they made shit to run optimally. Like, not break down, run to its full capacity. Imagine that shit you could pull off. You could probably make studio budget movies for nothing. Yet they put it like a governor on that shit because you gotta keep the shit steep in price and hold back different developments so you can feed it out to fit a game plan and hit portfolio numbers for the fucking quarter and do what you gotta do. That's business. That's commerce, people. I know this just because I've worked for retail corporations, got high up enough in the management chain to see how daily numbers and goal statistics and like sales, different sales categories that are monitored with percentages and close rates, what's really focused on and how they drive and make their profit in their business. And really what the sickening trend about corporations now is they eat themselves to profit. They're almost like prop gonna be there, gone next week. You know, the kind of dude that takes photos for you and you're gonna be a fuck up model but then disappears with your money. It's kind of like what corporations are turning into. Eventually they won't be around, and then oh no, they reinvest and da 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 da. Money's become the end all be all of the entire commerce system. If you can play the money game right and keep reinvesting it and playing the banking system, you never actually have to create and contribute anything to create the economy that fuels this market system. But capitalism is going to fail because it's going to destroy itself. You can sit back and just watch. You don't have to do shit. You don't have to protest. You don't have to sit in a park for months and get shot at with rubber bullets and tear gas. There's no point. It's going to collapse on its own. Be ready for it. Have proposed legislation and idea ready for when that moment comes. That's where your energy should be focused on. You should be focused on putting together the go-to plan for when all this goes boom. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a one-world government that doesn't give a fuck, and they're going to do what they want because they have all the materials and all the fucking technology and like funds, resources, and all that shit unlocked. And I'm not saying there's some like evil narrative coming. It's just they do own all those things. You have to acknowledge that much. So you're not going to tell me that you're going to invest in certain corporations and technologies and own the rights to it and keep it to yourself and not have a game plan for where the fuck you have it and what you're going to do with it. That's just ridiculous. That's insanity. I think Brad's going by right now. I can hear the wheelchair. But here I sit listening to Tool talking about the crazy randomness of this whole shit. Like it matters. Like anything matters. But it does. Shit does matter. If you're gonna be alive, you might as well fucking do something about it. Are you gonna be a passive watcher of your life? Sit back and feel like it's happening to you and you have no control? Or are you going to realize that some of it happens to you while some of it is in your control? It's a balance. Some things are just going to blindside you, but you have to have the hubris to fucking get out there and give it a go. You have to try. You have to do something. If you don't do something, you're just a weak bitch. If I pick up anybody in the background either, I'm sorry, but if you don't, life will kick you while you're down over and over again. That's fine. Take your licking, get up. Don't let it stop you. There's so many times I should have just thrown the towel in by now, people. Me and Square One are really well acquainted with each other. I've had to start over so many fucking times. It doesn't matter. This time I'm having the balls to just do something that just speaks to what I'm about, which sounds horrible. I wish there was different ways to phrase some of these things, because they sound so god awful and cheesy. But that's the point. You have to get over image and just to pursue what you know is important. Keep sight of that. Keep sight of the thing that keeps you awake at night. Sorry, I had to do some readjusting there. Shout out to Shorty, if you're from Elmira. Cool dude passed away today. Local at a bar, we all know. It's a shame. I'm not going to go on into it. It's a little depressing, don't worry. Just, figured I'd say something. Actually surprised me and Baron didn't think to bring it up really, but we probably didn't want to bring the mood down or anything like that. It's been a long day. And big message too, just because you're aware of things or you think you're clever, if you do sort of think the way I do and you do perceive stuff like this, don't get full of yourself. Just because you're aware of it doesn't mean it won't happen to you. Just ripped off an Every Time I Die quote. But it's really true. It doesn't matter how much you think you know. It's just going to come back anyway. Just because you're aware of it doesn't mean the tidal wave isn't coming. Doesn't mean that you should run because Godzilla's running around. It just means you got a head start. That's it. We haven't figured out how to master it yet. Because the way things run, it isn't set up to make that possible. And that is so abstract what I'm saying, but it doesn't matter, it's true. There's a lot more to all this than meets the eye, people. What you're seeing as you're listening to this or as you close your eyes, all of it just different states of consciousness. So, what really constitutes reality then? How do you know? Nobody knows. And then you get into that well, you can't think that way, it'll make you crazy, it's unhealthy, it's scary, yada yada yada. I just say coward. That's all I say to that. That's not to diminish that it is scary and it is risky and it can fuck you over. It definitely can. But you have to have the balls to navigate the waters. Otherwise you're never gonna get shit done, shit accomplished, or you're just gonna be full of regret. If you see a fucking window of opportunity that can benefit your life, leap. Do not even hesitate. If you have a gut feeling because you know that area, you know that business, you know that shit, you have the finger on the pulse of it, pull the trigger. Otherwise you're just gonna kick yourself later when somebody else does it. This way. Again, I'm sorry, but I gotta switch this. Music is essential, otherwise this isn't doable. I'm sorry if it is annoying to anybody in the background. Eventually I'll probably develop to a point where I don't have it playing like this so raw. But for now I figure I can get away with it. I'm a nobody. Who the hell's listening anyway? I'd be full of myself to think if this was off the ground yet, even remotely. It's just started. But that's what the thing in my life. I feel right now like I'm in a fresh start. And if I can somewhat get my shit together this time, good things might happen. It's so easy to get lost in this fucking world, trust me. It's so easy to go down any fucking side path mentally that comes up. It just is. And it'll seem so important and so right and so the truth and this is the way life is, and then either something happens to shatter that or you find validation. Either way, it's still not the truth. And that's what evolution is. Now that we've had thought and we can talk and ideas can basically have sex, as Jason Silva would say, and get more complicated and evolve into their own things. Evolution is now external beyond us. Then you're really going to get into abstract territory about the nature of the way we even think. And what came before now is just that we think, and then through this thought we come to these conclusions. Now it's to the point where we've established that, so we're like thinking about thinking about thinking about thinking. So it's no wonder it's not a popular thing to fucking participate in, because it would mean the denial of all the shit you think is important before you jump into said conversations and ideas. You're probably, through your own pride and shame, gonna not want to even hear what the hell's happening next. You're gonna hear shit from people in those kind of classes that's gonna piss you off, and you're probably gonna argue with them. And there's people walking around, probably like, oh, that fucking annoying fat bastard doing a podcast and they're talking to himself like he thinks it's important. I'm self-deprecating if anybody hasn't caught on. But what aspiring comedian isn't, right? And who says aspiring comedian? Jesus Christ. All I can do lately is daydream about... Wow. What the fuck was that? I don't know if that was this or something out in the living room. But that was loud. I apologize for that one, people. Yeah, at least there's not a shitload of stuff going on in the background to make it worse, I guess. All I can do is daydream, though, like I was saying, about the days of freedom and interacting with the people that I want to interact with, having the conversations I want to have, and have a microphone that doesn't fuck up every 3 seconds. You know, from big to small. From big to small. I'm sorry if there was feedback or dead air there. I had to check something really quick with the headphones. They were being weird. But there's a lot going on around me right now in this house. So if I have to cut this short randomly, that'll be why. I don't give out the information of why, because it's respect of people's privacy and their lives. It's be rude just to put it on the internet and put people on blast, so to speak. If you're stuck though, and you're in a town with a community college, and you hate working, and you have nothing to do, and you realize this is all bullshit, go to the community college, get the government aid, take the loans. You're going to be in debt no matter what you do or where you start. If you're really that stuck and you have no options, it's like the military or go in debt. Go in debt. Don't go shoot people. It just seems like a better option. Not to knock people that made the other choice. You know, do your thing, but getting to those that are preemptively thinking about it. You're gonna be in debt regardless. It's just fictional. It's just a number. There's no reason to worry. Throw whatever money at it. Just don't even think about it. Fuck it. Who the fuck cares? I mean, you're gonna have, like, if you plan on living a traditional life anyway, where you're gonna buy a house for $200,000 and pay on that for fucking 40, 50 years, and then, you know, enjoy owning it for like the 6 years before you die. I'm such a prick when I analyze all the stuff I've seen growing up. I've seen the different lifestyles, my own family's pursuit of stuff, and I feel bad, and then I feel guilty, and then I feel like a dick, but then I just don't say anything in general, so it's not like I'm really crossing any lines or offending or going out of my way to fuck with people. But there's nothing wrong with having your own thoughts about what you're seeing in front of you at the moment. Just have the respect to keep it to yourself. Unless it really calls for it. You'll know what I mean by that. If it really calls for it, you'll know when to say something. Sometimes it's unavoidable. So save it for those times. Just don't make it a common practice to casually think you can dominate and rule every situation. You just can't. Every time I die, the band people, if you don't know who they are and you're into metal at all, you need to be listening to that band, by the way. Best lyrics ever, 21st century, end of the world, rock and roll. That's the way I classify it. They're from fucking Buffalo. I've seen them live. Best fucking show I've ever been to. It's chaos, got the shit kicked out of me. I was about 4 people away from the lead singer in the pit. It was fucking sweet. And yeah, be all intellectual and be like, yeah, I get kicked in the face at metal shows. Listen, balances itself out. You need to let go of the rage. If you need to pound Miller High Life drafts and fucking get in the pit and work it out, do it. That's what those concerts are for. Make you feel alive. It's totally acceptable to, go to a Justin Bieber concert if you're a teenage girl and scream your fucking head off for some weird way of selling children sex, but if you go to a metal show as an adult and have a few beers, get crazy, get in the pit, have a good time, and, really get rowdy, you're a fucking douchebag, apparently. Or you're a dirty bastard, or, oh, I don't want to do that. I could enrich myself with my time. I could go to yoga, I could do this. I'm like, or you could go live your life. Or you could go see some real shit, experience something extreme, really go there. It's all about fear. Fear is so irrational. Should you fear anything? Not really. Fear mediocrity. Fear the fact that fear may fuck up your decision making. That way you'll never commit the things that fuck you up. There's a lot of shit in the background right now. It's what you're working with. Yeah, but Brad's got a new thing in the paper coming out. He did another article, and this time he did it on me, which is really cool, so that'll be coming out soon. I'm looking forward to reading that. It's just in a school paper, but who cares? It's something, right? We've put enough time in it that school, enough people know who we are. I've done pretty well in online classes, and I don't really have any problems with any professors or bad streaks with people. And by the way, that's the dogs getting put away for hurt in the box. Out of context, that could sound fucking weird. Still not giving away where I'm located. Soon enough, I'll be in another place off the grid and fucking really recording. I'll be really saying some shit then. Just wait, people. Stick in there with me. When I don't have to worry about legal ramifications for anything, things will be different. I'll be using proxy things to hide my fucking web, everything. And I say, I'm fucking scared of shit of that stuff. Cyber-wise, man, they can fucking track you for everything nowadays. And I don't know what the hell I was doing, but that was a good pop. This mic is so sensitive, people. You have no idea. Pick you up from the other side of the house just talking. If you really crank it up. Probably not the best thing for podcasting. It's like you can hear that from 2 rooms away, the ice being made from the fridge. That's how good this fucking thing is. And it's all because I'm too lazy to get up and hit stop, because I don't want to have to intro myself again. Fucking lazy. I'm guilty. And it is self-conscious when you're just talking out loud to a microphone and you know somebody can hear you, so you're probably like, what the fuck's he doing? If you wonder why I gave a moment of dead air there. 1, enjoy the music. 2, I knew the person was walking by, so I figured I'd let it calm down and go back to talking. Do what you gotta do. Drinking coffee at 1 something in the morning. It's like 1:30. I don't even know. I can't tell. I don't even have my phone near me, people. I'm not a technology junkie like most people. I can live 5 minutes without the fucking thing. Everybody wants to blame the fucking object too. It's not the object, it's the user. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. But I get it. Everybody needs distractions. If somebody wants to play some game on their phone for a couple hours to kill some time, who am I to say something? Just don't let it dominate your life. Don't let it take over every waking moment. Just like, don't fucking snort coke from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed. I mean, you really don't go to bed with your coke. Eventually you black out. How about that? Until you black out. But if I could end this with anything, it's just, it'd be, you can start over anytime you want. It doesn't matter. It's just, how committed are you to it? Or do you have the balls to really go for broke? If you were to restart right now and you would have nothing because you restarted, do you have the balls to do it? And if you have the balls to do it and you're doing it for the right reasons, you will succeed. You will figure it out. You will get through. And maybe you'll put your dues in it, and that's what generates the good karma for like your lucky break. That's a romantic way to look at it, I guess. It's romanticizing extreme life choices, but life isn't for the average mediocre answer. You're never gonna find your fucking what you're looking for there. You're never gonna find it in the standardized version of mainstream lifestyle. I can hear pounding in the headphones. This is what causing my hesitation. You're never going to find what you're looking for if you're never really looking. That's the point. If you're not willing to really look what you claim you're looking, you're just a douchebag wasting people's time. I think the pounding is from the bass in the song, to be honest with you. Such an unprofessional podcast. It doesn't matter, though. What is professional? What does it mean to be professional? To be fake? To put on a facade? To not reveal how things actually function? Is it to create an environment that creates a story that detaches, so you can detach as a viewer, so you can experience something vicariously? Well, all that's fine and dandy, and it's fun, and I love movies, and I love shows, and I love video games, and all that stuff too. It's unhealthy, because what you're doing is you're going to mimic that. You're going to mimic unrealistic things. You're going to mimic stuff and not account for the actualities of what it takes to get through a situation in life. You're leaving certain things unaccounted for. That quick snarky thing somebody says in a fucking TV show, you don't get away with that in real life. It's way more complex. It's way more shit to consider. There's way different rules. We're setting ourselves up for disappointment by doing that. That's all I'm saying. I wish it could be like that too. I wish things could be. I wish everybody tomorrow would just wake the fuck up and get it together. My life would be so much. I know how awesome life would be if people did that. That's my point. And you really do daydream. That's your utopia. Utopia is when everybody just does it at once, randomly, for no reason. Just wakes up and goes, fuck it. Shit sucks. Let's do something. And then, all that bullshit you had to deal with, you were worried about all that stress, bills, that shit just goes away. Just poof. Poof. It's a construct. It's a perception. It's a thing we believe in. It's a thing you submit to as a distribution device. And that's all it is, all it's ever been, all it ever will be. It does not dictate, we dictate. But what we do is we place we place a responsibility onto the object or the function or the system or whatever it is, and you do it with everything. You do it when you want to talk about violence in games. You do it when you talk about different messages from certain advertisements and how people conduct themselves with business, corporation practices, the environment, all of it, same fucking thing. You need to address the fact that it's on us, not anything else. Never was, never will be. Technology is not our savior. Technology is our tool that we can use to be our own saviors. If you're going to wait for computers to rule the world to fix it, you're such a lazy dick. We should be at least encouraging a thought process that is readying us for the inevitable explosion of information that is going to come. Did you know that they're going to have a computer someday, statistically, that can take statistics and numbers and compute at such a level that it'll be able to backtrack the origins of the human history, because it'll have so much information that it can fill in the gaps, and it'll be able to generate our story. And for the first time ever, we will look at a true version of history. What that would do to the human psyche, who knows? Who knows what that is? It's like a what-if machine. It's fucking magic. That's fucking voodoo shit, dude. I mean, and then will it cause mass panic? Will instant unplausible denial, chaos, wars, what it'll do? Where will we be mentally when that image comes to us? Who knows? Serious things you need to consider, though, because it could happen in this lifetime. 2045, gonna have consciousness in computers. That's scary as shit. Their perception and everything's going to be completely different because of the lack of senses and the biological limitations they won't have. So, you should be fucking terrified in a good way and in a bad way, because it can go either way. But it's not good or bad, it's just the way it's going to go. Either we will evolve and we weren't meant to, or we were the monkey that invented the thing that fucking mutates into the universe. That's kind of the way I look at it. Maybe technology will just complexify to the point of mapping the cosmos down to manipulation of matter and reconstruction. I like the Jason Silva thing, he brought it up, and I think it's from somebody else he quoted, but we become so dense, we become a black hole and suck in through ourselves to the end of time where we meet alien species finally, or some shit like that. Which again, it sounds like a sci-fi movie, but you know what, people? There's a lot of sci-fi shit that's turned out to be true. Look at like old episodes of Star Trek and stuff with tablets and different things that all of a sudden we can buy readily for fucking almost affordable prices in a matter of like 30 years. Yeah, there's no flying cars, but we live in practicality. We should be a pragmatic society, more or less. Not something that's focused on like you need to acknowledge the limitations of the physical environment. So if your goal is going to take up too much space or manipulate said space in a way that's not beneficial enough to justify its use, that's when we should make decisions on whether or not to fucking pursue things of the imagination. And with that, I will say adieu, or whatever the fuck. Keep it real, motherfuckers. If somebody's mad at you, tell them to go fuck themselves. Not really. Handle the situation accordingly. Get out of it. Wipe your hands of it. Like, it's like you walked in on a dead body. Wipe your hands off the door handle. Get the fuck out of there. You want nothing to do with it. It's a trap. And you're letting that person win. It's chess, not checkers. Don't play their game. Play your fucking game. That's all that ever matters, is what you're willing to do. And with that, I will stop rambling insensitively.